How many times on the internet do you think like people have like taken a selfie and photoshopped themselves with selfie and been like, selfie?
I don't know. You could be the first. Think about that. What, you're not going to do it now?
Don't need to be.
You just invented it.
Well, I don't need to actually go ahead and, you know, if you had invented a chair, what was the thing from that Facebook movie? If you had invented Facebook, you would have invented Facebook.
And if I had invented taking a selfie and being with Selphie,
Right.
I would have invented that.
But it's
You
like,
didn't.
I had the idea, but I didn't actually execute it, was his point. Like, he was like, the other guy might have had the idea of Facebook, but he didn't actually make Facebook. I made Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And if you had made Facebook, you would have been the one who made Facebook.
Imagine that. I could have been the most hated man in the world.
Man, I can't wait for a sequel to that fucking movie. Oh, there's
There
Selphie.
she is.
Welcome to No One Can Know About This, a podcast where we play every Final Fantasy. I'm Jeff Ekman.
And I'm Ryan Kazmiski.
And here we go, Season 6, Episode 18.
We're doing another one.
We are.
Everyone advised against it, and we said
We're going to do another episode.
we refuse the advice of counsel.
We're checking out AMA.
And then the judge was like, you're free to do whatever you want, but I highly recommend you not do any more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, fuck you, judge. The truth will come out one day. We're never going to stop.
And so here we are.
And so here we are at this episode.
What happened at the end of last week?
We left Fisherman's Horizon. We ordered groceries to make a chicken fried steak. The pseudo garden festival happened.
Right, that's it.
Squall and Renoa went on a terrible date that was doomed to fail from the beginning.
Squall's back in his dorm room, but he's going to be standing there for a little while because while the game sits in an unpaused state, we're going to make chicken fried steak.
It's finally happening. For the uninitiated, who may live overseas or for whatever reason not know, chicken fried steak is steak that's hammered flat and then breaded and fried, like you would with chicken.
And then you gravy it up. It's delicious. It's fucking so good.
It's traditionally a breakfast item.
That's crazy to me. That is not what I would think of it as.
Or is that traditional, or did it just become that because fuck it?
Maybe? I don't know. It's surprising how many breakfast foods have gravy in it.
God, you know what I miss from diners? Hamburger patty and eggs.
Yeah, that was a favorite.
Make it for yourself at home and you just feel like a loser. But if you order it at a restaurant, it's fine.
So, those of you who loved the lunch episode from Season 4, strap in. We're going to be making food for a little while.
Here's some sauce for your brain.
Let's go
Brain sauce.
back to the beginning of a break from the game.
Tangy.
These whiny anime voices are really hurting my throat.
Okay, so mashed potatoes are done and over here.
Okay.
This is going to be for the vegetables that I'm going to make at the last minute. This is the correct amount of oil in the pan. And then this is an egg and milk mixture.
Okay. And flour.
Breading involves a series of bowls. You're going to need to put the steak in some eggs and then cover it in flour and stuff.
You see, you're going to want to take the advice of keeping a wet hand and a dry hand. Because you're going to have the wet hand for dipping it in the eggs, and then the dry hand for putting it in the flour and stuff. And then what you're going to do is, even though you're trying to keep your hands separate, so you're going to get both of them wet and both of them covered in flour, and you're going to make a huge mess and go like, why did I ever want to bread something?
Your hands are going to be caked on with shit.
Yeah.
But right now, the big question is, do I have a hammer? I
Let's see what kind of hammers you got.
Like real ones?
Yes.
Alright, hang on.
Because from my understanding, we want them so flat they're almost falling apart.
That's my only hammer.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like a hammer for nails.
Yeah, but you just need something to smash it with.
Seems to be working.
Here, we'll do these one at a time. These will be pretty...
Yeah, I didn't realize how wide it was going to get, you know? Yeah, a normal piece of steak, when entirely flat, is actually massive. It's like a massive sheet of steak.
Since we have sides and shit, too. Let's see. We can do both.
Now my neighbor's probably like, what is constructing over there? Ah. Well, you really like put a hole in that steak.
Yeah, you want it... Yeah, this is closer.
You want it holy? It's gonna be a big mass of breaded steak. Why do they call it chicken fried?
Because I guess this is how you would like bread your chicken and then fry it.
And then they were like, what if we did it to a steak?
I guess. I'm not sure exactly.
Let me look up chicken fried steak on the Wikipedia. It's breaded and fried with a technique similar to the more common fried chicken, hence the chicken fried.
That's what I thought.
You were right. It resembles Wiener Schnitzel and Milanese. I was gonna say, like, they're all the same.
Why is the hot dog place called Wiener Schnitzel?
I don't know. Because it's not a schnitzel at all.
It is a wiener.
But schnitzel it isn't.
No. Let's get this hot. Haley, move out of here.
The precise origins of chicken fried steak are unclear, but many sources attribute its development to German and Austrian immigrants to Texas in the 19th century,
Makes a lot of sense.
who brought recipes for Wiener Schnitzel from Europe to the USA.
I was gonna say, we have a lot of Germans in Texas.
La Mesa, the seat of Dawson County on the Texas South Plains, claims to be the birthplace of chicken fried steak. And they host an annual celebration, accordingly. Every year they celebrate the birth of the chicken fried steak.
That's a thing I feel like we gotta see.
Chicken fried steak is among numerous popular dishes which make up the official state meal of Oklahoma.
Oh.
There's
numerous dishes that make up the official state meal?
There's official state meals?
There's so many official state things, you know, they got birds, trees, flowers.
The official state meal?
What else is in the official state meal of Oklahoma?
Oklahoma's official meal is an extensive menu that reflects the state's historic and present-day agriculture and cultural backgrounds of Oklahoma residents. Louisiana is the only other state that recognizes an official state meal. The official state meal of Oklahoma consists of fried okra,
Hey, go away.
cornbread, barbecue pork, squash, biscuits, sausage and gravy, grits, corn, strawberries, which is the state fruit, chicken fried steak, pecan pie, and black-eyed peas. And that's your meal. That's a hell of a meal.
That's pretty crazy.
Does that mean that, like, state legislature, like, voted on this?
Yeah, somebody
And they
like
took the time and they
bureaucracy
did the
went
thing?
into this, and they
It's crazy.
God, the idea of like Southern politicians grandstanding about specific foods that they like personally believe belong in the state meal, fucking filibustering for corn.
Yeah.
I guess while many U.S. states have one or more official foods, it is the only official state meal.
Like they couldn't decide on a food. There's too contentious.
It's a tight menu, you know?
All right.
Alright, here we go.
No, this is maybe the least healthy thing we've ever cooked, and that's really saying something.
Clotted cream,
Well,
just as an individual thing,
yeah.
like on a pure pound for pound level. But no, I think you're right. Like as a meal, this might be the craziest.
Oh yeah, come look at this.
Oh yeah, that's how you chicken fry. I'll get to work right away on the gravy as soon as this is done.
Yeah,
Like it'll take like 10 minutes.
Right?
That looks amazing. That looks so fucking good. All right, let me get going on this.
I'll just let this set over here.
Gravy.
The gravy.
The steak is now resting, having been fried. Mm-hmm. It's time to do the gravy. I also had made mashed potatoes, I think.
You made mashed potatoes, we had vegetables, we did the steak, we made gravy, and
We live large.
we're gonna die after we eat this, aren't we?
Yeah. That was the idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our Thelma and Louise.
Just put your foot on that gas pedal. I was just so much hungrier before I ate all those chips.
Can you pour like 3.5 cups of milk into that big measuring cup? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think we're making gravy for as though we made like 3 steaks. I didn't know how to reduce the amount of like liquid that was supposed to be there for the. I don't know. It's a lot of gravy.
I don't either.
But
What are we gonna do with all this gravy?
looks
good to me.
Looks good.
Here's the place.
She's got a paper towel.
Oh, Haley. Hey. Did you lose? Oh, you dropped it.
She knows. She'll immediately be like, oh, paper towel, I got caught. And drop it. So, let's slop some mashed potatoes on.
There we go. That'll put us to sleep.
Yeah. This looks great.
I remember it took me like a half an hour to reduce that gravy because there was so much fucking milk and it was a lot of gravy that was being made. But now it's all ready to get eaten.
Now we're going to put it inside of us, where enzymes will break it down into its parts, and then
the ADPs will become the ATPs or something like that, and we'll be energized.
And nobody knows what happens after that.
Let's see how we did.
Yeah, the big moment. The steak looks really well fried.
It's pretty good.
It doesn't sound that enthusiastic.
I mean, I got better. But for our first time,
Actually, I really like
good
it.
job. I think it could be even flatter.
I think you're right, but like I would not send this back.
No.
The breading is like perfect. You fried it the right amount.
Success. The cayenne comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing, is like it could be flatter. It would be crispier.
But it's still really crispy. You think we could improve on this gravy? It's pretty
I
good.
think the gravy's good. I think if I had salted the steak more, it'd be better.
Oh, that was another thing that they said to do.
Yeah. But
Salt
really,
and pepper before you put it in the mixture.
yeah, I forgot.
Yes, spicing your food.
You guys can't taste this through the podcast, but the seasoning was all off. I read that, and then I went over and was flattening it, and I just got carried away.
You got carried away.
But you know, like ideally, you wouldn't chew the steak at all. Like I get chewy bites of steak.
Right.
Ideally, it would just be like crunch, and then a little bit of steak in the middle.
I get what you mean.
No, I think we did good.
Yeah. No, this is great.
Yeah, the gravy's great. Gravy's perfect.
There's a fly.
Haley is chasing a fly.
I'm trying to pace myself so that I can stop when I'm full and I don't just immediately pass out and go, let's just play more tomorrow.
So while we're eating, we look over, and on the screen, Squall is standing there in his stupid outfit.
God, he looks so fucking cool.
Squall's belt game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only one pair of pants.
Yeah, no, it's one pair of pants, one belt that's actually doing its job, and then 5 that are for fashion, I guess.
Can you, like, put something in his knee?
I mean, maybe one of those extra belts is supposed to be like his gun blade holster
Yeah.
at his waist.
Could
But
be.
the knee ones, on his thigh,
But if so, where is his gun blade?
well, you never see it, but when it finishes, you know, in the cutscene, he pulled it out on someone, they were like, we come in peace, and he went, wonk, and it disappeared.
Yeah, but Cloud, like, runs around with it on his back.
Only in Remake, you never see it on his back.
You
when
never
he's
do in
walking
the
around.
original, yeah.
I don't even know if this is worth getting into, but like in Final Fantasy VII, in canon, Cloud holds that Buster Sword on his back with a magnet, like a big disc
He's got
that's
a
on
big-
his back.
Uh-huh.
And I always thought that was stupid, but the idea that Cloud holds that giant sword on his back with a magnet makes way more sense than that Squall is holding this gunblade on his pants.
Which is like longer than his leg.
In
like
any-
it
yeah.
must be dragging
There's
behind
no
him.
device that you can put this on your pants without it like pulling that side of your pants down to your ass. So I mean, when they remake this, I guess it'll be awkwardly hanging off of his waist like it's a gun, but dragging on the ground.
I doubt they'll remake this.
They're gonna be busy making 7 games and spin-offs and alternate universe crisis cores and all kinds of shit for the next 20 years. I think this morning we just saw Square Enix trademark something called Ever Crisis.
Yep.
And
we
at
did
the
see
end
that.
of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm not going to get into how it ended here, so go listen to our FF7 Remake spoiler thing if you care. But the way that game ends, when it ended, and I racked my brain for months about it, the only conclusion I could come to was they did that so they could make another Crisis Core. And they're gonna do it. I'm thinking, if Zack is alive in another timeline, what would make a lot of sense is if it has no bearing on the rest of the 7 storyline, but they do spin-off games that are like Zack Crisis Core sequels.
So they finish 7 properly.
But they do those while it's going on.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
like they're doing 7 properly, but then they also have set
Well, who
themselves
knows how
up for
proper, but like, what I really hope is that in the 7 remake games, you're not flipping to an alternate timeline. But I could see them doing like
spin-off games.
A spin-off series.
And then we'll have to play that. Wow. I'm full.
Me too.
I'm glad we didn't make that second steak.
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw how big that was flat, I was like, at a restaurant, half of this would be what they bring you.
Well, maybe that makes it, healthy, because if you think about it...
I think it would have been healthier for each of us to eat an entire steak that we had just grilled than to
Rather
eat half of whatever we just did to the steak. The gravy alone adds so many calories, and then frying it.
Gravy is just some grease, some flour, and an assload of milk reduced together.
And sometimes chunks of sausage.
I know.
Sometimes you just gotta chug a LaCroix,
Oh, I know.
Should start shotgunning these things. It's just a fun way to drink something.
No, I like the idea of somebody's been lost in the desert forever and they're dying of thirst and they're just like, oh my god, I was so thirsty, I just had to shotgun that LaCroix.
I was imagining going to a party where I don't know anybody and then shotgunning a LaCroix and smashing a can on my head and be like, whoa! And then just being like, that's about as crazy as I get these days.
Yeah. I do it, but I do it with a LaCroix. Okay, so you popped a hole in the bottom of the LaCroix.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just... Yeah, okay. Is it shooting out at you, or... Yeah, okay. He's shotgunning it, alright. Oh my god.
Oh. That's about as crazy as I get these days.
What?
Oh,
What does that feel like?
it burns so much. And my stomach is so full. That was definitely... Oh my god. Holy shit. I'm sweating. It's like I can see for the first time. It's so bright. Stop.
Well, that's what shotgunning a LaCroix is like.
I'm like shaking. I don't feel good.
Pamplemousse. Yeah, are you gonna puke up pamplemousse?
Oh, I have another one here.
Yeah, you were already
drinking one. It's funny, it's almost like my body expects to start feeling drunk. But like nothing's happening. I can't wait till we can go to parties again so I can do this somewhere where I don't know anybody. And then walk out.
We have video of this, and you can find it on our social media.
It's even funnier than I thought. It, like, completely devastated me. Like, if you did this in front of people, you'd then be like, I gotta go right now. I have to go in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
You catch that guy shit all over LaCroix?
I was like, whatever, man.
Like, of all the hills to even take a bullet on, never mind die.
I was like, well, it's carbonated and lightly flavored, and it doesn't make me feel like I want to die, like every time I drink a real soda. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, maybe he hasn't put his body through the hell that I have, but I cannot drink an entire Coke anymore. You know? Like, my body can't handle it.
Dude, I did it for the first time in like 5 years the other day, and I was like, wow, I finished a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, to me, they're like...
I'm realizing, you said that right now, and I'm like, wow, yeah, just the other day, I was like, wow, I actually finished one.
So we start making our way back to the couch. I'm still doing cleanup in the kitchen.
I've coaxed Haley onto my lap. Come here. Come be with me. Yeah. Just like that.
You get the idea sometimes.
And while you're rewatching a chicken fried steak video, we realize we're gonna have to do this better.
I gotta hone my technique.
Yeah, we can pick this up.
Take it to the next
Let's
level.
take it to the next level. Do you want to do that tomorrow?
Sure.
With the other steak?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay him on there. Daddy Jack's cooking with the blues.
Oh man, yeah, no, that's
Straight up chicken fried steak.
Yeah, shout out to Chaplin's Classics, a wonderful YouTube channel where we got our some of our chicken fried steak ideas.
All right. Big Daddy Jack cooking with the blues.
and now it's Haley's dinner. You're very sweet today, Haley. You're being unbelievably sweet.
All three of us have eaten.
We're all being sweet.
It's time to get back to work.
Unbelievably sweet.
I forgot what Squall was doing now. Something he didn't want to do. He was bitching about it.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm bored.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see what the other kids are doing. No, that was before we went and.
Yeah, no, that was back before the Garden Festival. Now Renoa wants another tour.
No.
That also happened a couple of times.
The boat is working again, and we needed
The boat is
because
working
we can
again.
leave or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the school is working again, and we got to go back up to the bridge to
So that
start
we
driving
can,
it.
Give the orders for where to go.
Something else happened since then?
I bet the headmaster called us to his office or something.
Oh, did that happen and then he made us leader, or was that before?
That was before.
Okay.
And then we went and they played the band thing to try to get us to hug Renoa, and we wouldn't hug her.
No hug yet.
No hug.
That hug counter remains at 0.
0 hugs so far.
She's in love with us for some reason.
Because we're the protagonist.
Not because we're
and
fucking
she's
cool,
that's
the
for
girl.
sure.
Well, you know, we found her first boyfriend was an asshole, and we're an asshole, so she has a type.
She has a type.
You know, she's a teenager.
She's 17, Ryan. She's making a mistake. We all do
Happens
it
all the time.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what she wants.
Wasn't she a princess? Isn't that how she was introduced to us? She's a princess? That hasn't come up again. She's the daughter of the general.
She was joking with us, calling us Your Highness.
Yeah, but at the very beginning, it was like, you're gonna go meet, there's a princess in Timber or whatever, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. She's the head of the resistance in Timber. Okay, this is where we were supposed to go.
So we go up to the bridge. Quistis and Shu are up here with a third guy who's kind of recognizable.
I think he's the other guy who graduated from Seed with us.
I believe he is. He's going to be the pilot, and his name is Nita.
And everyone's like, hey, boss, which is a new feeling for Squall.
Greetings, Commander. Don't call me that. We thought you should have a title, so Quistis and I decided on Commander. Place like a bunch of kids pretending to be like official.
Sorry to carry things out on our own, but Sue and I assigned duties.
I'll take care of all the supplies needed in the garden. And I'll help take care of the students with Dr. Kadawaki.
Dr. Catawaki.
You can just focus on our destination and battle plans. And, will you let Selphie rest a while? I think she's exhausted from the missile-based mission. She could use some rest.
That missile base.
How does it sound to you?
Why are they making it so that Selphie can't be in the party right now? She needs rest after that mission.
Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. There's a specific reason. Oh, the reason they don't let you take her with you is because you could go to Trabia right now. And if you have her with you, it makes no sense that she doesn't go, oh my god, Trabia. Yeah, they should have done the Trabia thing right fucking now. What are they doing over here?
Everything is out of order. Everything is wrong. It's like
just a mess.
they realized certain things and put Band-Aids on them.
Yeah.
And this really feels like a Band-Aid.
Wait, how did they fall out of that thing again? How did they escape the missile base?
I think when it was blowing up, they must have stowed away in it to protect themselves from the explosion.
Okay.
And then they didn't explain it. I'm just filling in the gaps.
Yeah, I know, okay.
Like,
I know.
because then that thing showed up, and they were like, bring it out to fight him, and it was all weak and shit, and we beat it, and it fell off the cliff, and they all climbed up after it fell.
But the last we had seen them, they were like in the middle of the base, and the entire area exploded in a nuclear blast.
But they survived.
Alright.
They're seeds, man.
They're seeds. Seeds are hardy.
They're the most elite teenagers in the world.
Seeds have like a thick protective shell to
Yeah.
carry, for the nut, so that it can...
Sometimes it has to light on fire, you know? Like pine cones.
Is that a thing? They have to light on fire?
Yeah, forest fires open up the pine cone in a lot of conifers, and then they drop the seeds.
And they won't do it without a fire? Mm-hmm. That's nuts. So it only lets new life happen once its parents have died.
Yeah. Or the parent, like, won't allow a child to live until it's done for.
I've finished my life.
Alright, I have some reports for you already.
So we talked to the guy who's piloting the ship, Nita.
This guy's name is Nida. I don't think we've met him before. Hey, Squall. Who are you? What? Oh man, it's me. We passed the seat. Oh, this is the guy that was in the seat exam that we passed. That was just the other guy who was there that we didn't know.
Yeah!
We passed the seat exam together. I can't believe you forgot. Well, it's just like you to forget.
I guess this is them trying to say that Squall gets forgetful sometimes.
This is a line that reads pretty differently after you've played the game.
By the way, you know the FH technicians were fixing the garden, right? They just finished, meaning the garden's ready to go anytime.
Fucking finally.
Oh yeah.
Dude, we finished the last time we played with me being like, and now the garden.
Yeah.
Like, time to drive this garden.
I'll be piloting the garden. FH technicians taught me everything about piloting this thing. Let me know when you want to go.
Wait, FH technicians who don't know jack shit about this thing.
Well, but they're just so proficient they looked at it and fixed it and were like, here's how it works.
This may or may not be a spoiler, but we're pretty sure that they built it.
Yeah, well, they said they painted it.
Right.
First of all.
They did
and they
say
know
that.
how it works. And
So
I'm pretty sure they built it.
they must
I think
have built
this is
it.
confirmation.
This one controls left and this one
Sid
goes
didn't
right.
even know this existed.
Who knows what he knew? He knew that Master Nord was living in the basement, and he didn't tell any of us
And
that.
then he was like a worm slug
Also,
thing.
let's think about this. Garden and Seed have existed for 10 years or less.
Oh
It
god.
was like 10 years ago I got a loan from Master Nord.
It was 10 years ago, and then they built this
So,
garden.
like, they act like this is an institution. We're probably, like, the first wave of seeds to come out of this.
There's a lot that needs to be explained. They've raised a lot of questions.
This is a fucking first draft of this script. I'm convinced of it. Like, this is like, they have a ton of ideas and they went, mashed them together.
Put them in. Yes.
What's gonna make it all hang together though? It's pretty incoherent. Well, the theme is love. Any questions on where we should go? Who has the best cards, motherfuckers?
Why don't we go back to Balam? We don't know what's happened since we left.
Okay.
Besides, Balam may be their next target. It's a harbor town just like FH.
So yeah, our next destination is supposed to be Balam.
The town. Which
Because we haven't checked in there in a while. What do we normally check in with them about?
I don't know.
Because to me, the pressing thing is there's a destroyed garden.
Yeah, that's way more pressing. That's the wrap up to this whole missile
But instead,
nonsense.
we're supposed to go fucking hang at Balam.
Just see what's going on, just because.
You're right. Squall, what do you think?
Why even ask me?
And then Quista starts asking some questions.
Yeah, what does the sorceress really want? What's actually going on here? All of which Sid actually does know.
What does the sorceress really want?
It seems like Sid should know, but he's not telling us.
It doesn't seem something as simple as world domination.
God, there's people in this world who know what's happening, and they've put us in charge, and they haven't told us what's going on.
Well, maybe it's all a big test.
Well, we walk up to Shu, and she's like, and what was with Adia's ship taking a loan? Who are they about? And we're
Why
like,
are we all
seriously,
okay with being
though?
fucked with in this way?
The ship that took a loan, where do you think it is? I mean, who are all those people on that ship? They said they were at Adia's seeds. We're taking off. I'll direct you to our destination. Announce the departure. Roger.
So Nita gets on the old blower and tells everybody in the school, hold on, because now it's time to drive.
May I have your attention, please? This is the bridge. The garden will be leaving FH shortly. Please prepare for departure.
Do you think whenever that announcement comes on, you just try to get like 3 points of contact, like grab
Yeah.
onto something, and then it's like lurch,
If
like,
I were-
oh god.
I want to see what happens to like the pool of water in the major fountain on the first floor of this thing. Like, does it start sloshing like crazy or what?
I will now hand the mic over to our leader, Squall. And it is a cruise ship. They have, like, a stage on one part, a library, a cafeteria, there's a gym somewhere, probably.
We're probably gonna need to be resupplied at some point with,
Squall,
like, food stuff.
a speech? Forget it.
So Squall refuses to make a speech to everybody, and the game asks us to make a party of 3.
Who should we take with us?
The people who have junctions on them.
So we quickly make a party of Squall, Quistis, and Irvine, and we begin driving the ship around the world.
Finally, we can, like, go all over the place.
Well, this is cool. Look at this.
Whoa, look at this road.
You're driving the school around. God, why couldn't we do that right after we saw that it was a fucking hovercraft?
Wow, so FH is just like a floating platform along some, like, train tracks?
Yeah, it actually really would have benefited the game to have shown us where FH is geographically before that whole sequence, but now we realize there's a massive train bridge that goes from one continent to the other, and it bisects the world.
Yeah, it's literally a wall you can't drive the school around.
And in the middle of it is FH.
Haley, you're excitable.
But yeah, it looks like you can take a train there. Here's Balam proper, which definitely looks like it has the bad guys at it.
So as we're driving by Balam, we can see that Galbadia Garden has also turned on their giant underground machine, and they're flying right outside of it.
I guess they knew about the fact that it could do this.
Whoa. Oh, is it
That's
totally
another garden.
fixed?
That's the bad guy garden.
Oh, cool.
They've also taken off.
I mean, I think this is supposed to be like, not only have they told you to go to Balam, but you immediately see Balam and you're like, oh shit, something's happening there. But we just like drive on by.
We're like, what else is going on?
So you can go on the land?
Yeah, check this out.
Great.
Can we go over mountains? Should we go where we're supposed to go, or should we drive around a little bit? How do we get over to this?
I mean, we can go anywhere now.
Dude, I want to get off on here.
Yeah, there are like a couple of islands that are raised up a little bit, but if you find a spot to kind of leap off of within the school from a higher cliff, you can sail across a little bit of ocean as it hovers down and land on another island, and you're just like, well, I can do anything.
And yeah, and the fact that you like can get to these when you like shouldn't be able to just drive on them makes me think like maybe there's some secret here in these woods.
I floated over the chasm.
Did you just want to see like what enemies are in here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something special in here. Like, why does this island exist?
Well, we've asked that question before.
I know, but
It's like-
sometimes, like in FF6, there's special enemies, or you go into a forest and you fall into
There's
a
no
dungeon.
chocobo breeding of any kind in this, is there?
I don't think so. I think the card game is their mini game. Well, it seems like this island is nothing.
You know what it is it's realistic. It's how the world would be.
Yeah, sometimes there's nothing in places.
It does seem like it shouldn't be a thing.
So over this way, I think this is the other continent we've been to. Ooh. Ice World.
While I'm playing around with Haley, you make it to an ice continent.
Yeah, it's a whole continent we haven't been to, and I'm like, we're gonna see what's here.
Over here.
What is that? Like an ice town?
I don't know. Should we check it out?
Why not?
It's not where we're supposed to go, but...
Check it out.
Haley.
I'll play with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna run into this and see what this is.
Yeah, what?
So I run into like the little indication that there's a town or something on the world map, the bump on the ground, and there's just like a destroyed wall that we can't walk past.
Well... Oh! This has got to be Travia Garden.
It's gotta be the destroyed Travia, right?
Yeah, and since
Haley.
we're not supposed to be here yet, there's nothing going on. Jesus!
What are you doing? It's crazy how late the sun is going down right now.
I know, I find it kind of upsetting, actually.
Oh yeah, and we had also just like, had we just changed our clocks?
Yeah, I think the
And-
daylight savings had happened.
Because I get tricked, and I end up staying up super late, because I'm like, oh, the sun just went down, then I watch like 2 movies, and I'm like, what the fuck? I get tricked, I see, like someone who can't check what time it is.
Because it was summer. and the daylight was now being saved significantly.
The
days were getting really long.
Goddamn long.
And then
I
you
get
watch
tricked by
2 movies.
nature. The sun is supposed to tell me that
Time is just a construct, so
There's got to be some happy medium. You know, they're
Which
too
is
short
hilarious
in the winter.
because right now we really are like, it goes to fucking dark at like 4:30, and what the hell's going on?
I'm just never going to be happy. I don't know what I prefer. I think I prefer the sun going down earlier, but 4:30 is
You
too
should
early.
just move to the fucking equator. It's probably easier, more consistent.
But then it's all hot and shit and humid. Yeah, I prefer the sun to go down earlier and look at my watch and go, "Oh, it's only 9." Than for the sun to go down at like 9 and look at my watch and go, "It's 5 a.m." Fuck.
I mean, I think the sun shouldn't come up until 9.
The sun can come up whenever it wants. You can block your windows out.
It's all about when it goes down.
Yeah, like you can wake up. Like you can,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but like if you're outside doing your day and the sun sets, that's it on your day. Because once it's dark, there's no way to do anything, right?
That's
You can't see, so you can't go anywhere.
fuck daylight savings. And fuck the other one too.
Fuck this voiceover.
Why don't we just do a 30-minute in between and call it done?
What do you mean by a 30-minute in between?
We'll have like one time where we advance 30 minutes instead of an hour, and then we keep that way year round.
I think the problem is they've talked about ending daylight savings time
Right.
or changing the clocks or whatever, but every single system in our entire country has been built up for so many years around the idea that this happens that the cost of changing it is like not worth it or something.
That
It's like
seems
a
nuts.
logistical nightmare. It's like it's brought up every now and then and everyone agrees like, yeah, it's probably not something we need to be doing. But we have to literally get every single individual person and then every other system that they're connected to get on board. And then it's one of those things that since it literally affects every single individual, like time affects everything, so that it's like, it's the same reason we don't use the metric system, even though it's clearly better, because like, it's like, yes, we know it's better, but
everybody's already
having
doing it
that
this
kind
way.
of change.
I understand what you
I'm
mean.
saying is that what it will take. Just wait for like the people, the like a cultural, like Mao's cultural revolution level event to happen.
And
Survive it and make sure that you hammer home constantly daylight savings time. We got to get rid of it in this new reality we're crafting. Want to get rid of daylight savings time, and we should be on the metric system. Sorry, I'm pounding. That's not good. But like that's the.
While we're on this tangent, the system that we do have is a lot better than when in the late 1800s, every town had their own time.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
see-
trains would fucking get in collisions and shit. And then when everybody was going to get on a standardized time, there were a ton of people who were so against it because they were like, time is mine.
Yeah, I mean,
it's my. I'm giving up ownership of my time. No,
exactly.
This is what time it is in my town.
Once you start talking about changing time, every single person has like an opinion.
But
about
it happened at the late 1800s because so many people were dying in
will of like we got
train
these
collisions.
Trains, we want to live in the train
There's
world.
30
we gotta get
schedules.
you know, like
Yeah.
it has to happen. And I don't know that like that hour difference is causing enough problems that like we have to collectively do it.
Anyway, let's continue around the world.
It's like,
your own-
you know that stealth camper YouTuber that I like to watch?
Yeah.
He's in Canada, and he was doing one recently that was really good, where he goes to like a rest stop off the side of a highway and then walks into some trees near it and he's gonna stealth camp there. And he gets into his hammock and he's like, well, the sun is setting at about 10:30 now, so I'm gonna get into bed early. And I was like, oh, what a nightmare.
Yeah. 10:30?
Yeah, he's up
I mean-
north.
I know, but well, yeah, I did go to that week I spent in Iceland was a full week of all day,
Oh, check this shit out.
all day time. Oh, what is this guy?
This guy's a big ice slug with horns.
He looks like a walrus to me.
Yeah.
Elephant walrus.
His belly has like, I don't know, are those scales or what is that actually?
Oh yeah, some scales or something.
It's a cool looking monster.
You don't think if we brought Selphie into the party and then walked into this Trabia garden that anything special would happen?
That's probably why they won't let us have Selphie right now, is what I think.
She would have a meltdown. Anyway, it's 7 o'clock and it looks like it's like 3 p.m.
Yeah. I'm gonna stock up on Blizzara. Oh, you awake now? Not for long. Yeah. Nice. Why don't you go to sleep anymore, asshole?
He's tired of being tired.
So while you're drawing magic, I look up Quistis's limit break.
Quistis learns new limit breaks by the use of certain items.
Okay.
Quistis' limit break attacks get more powerful the higher the crisis level is. Yeah, I think she can eat a spider web and a coral fragment and a cursed spike and a black hole. She can eat a missile.
There we go. Spider web.
So Quistis is like, I guess, the blue mage of this game, though not really, because it only affects her limit break. But certain enemies will drop items that when she eats it, she learns a new limit break ability.
So now we're in the menu looking for what do we have in the item list that actually would already give her more abilities.
Yeah, and her abilities are all like enemy skills.
Its attack power says of the micro missiles. At crisis level 1, it's 50% HP. At crisis level 2, it's 75% HP.
Holy shit.
At the crisis level 3, it's 87%. And crisis level 4, it's 93%. The laser eye sucks.
It's terrible. That's the only one we've used. And
Crisis level 4 does 64 damage.
Yeah, that's the only one we've had, and I'm like, what's the point of this?
No, all these early ones suck. Ultra Waves also sucks. Don't use it. Like, most of these seem to actually suck. Like, there's a Aqua Breath that does like 50 at level 1, Crisis level 1.
This is always my problem with like blue magic and enemy skills in these games. Why do any of them suck? Why do I have to use all of them to find the 2 that are good?
That's a great question.
Dude, there's an awesome GF that like has to be assembled by acquiring like a bunch of items.
Ooh. I have a feeling all the like extra secret shit in this game is gonna shine. Especially in comparison to this story.
So we're ready to do the next thing.
Wait. I want to go buy high potions.
But first, we gotta buy high potions. So you remember that there was a guy in the training center here on Balam Garden who was a store. And you go find him.
What? He's gone.
Who are we looking for?
There was a guy in here who was a store. Wonder where I can go to buy high potions.
Later on, we come back and he's like back, but right now he's not there.
I can't believe the cafeteria doesn't just have like a fucking shop.
Yeah, but on your way out of the training center, you run into a T-Rex.
Fuck this. No, we're not doing this. Poisoned even after battle, huh? Okay,
Guess so.
I'll fix that.
I'm surprised he's not screaming as he walks.
So you go to the cafeteria, hoping that they sell maybe something.
I know there's no more
More
hot
hot
dogs,
dogs.
but do you have other stuff?
Could you have a long story to tell me again?
Kids these days are concerned about dieting, but all we sell are hot dogs. They're fucked. I don't think there's like another town I can go to buy potions at.
So we set out again.
I love how unconcerned we are with getting to the next story beat. We're like, just let us drive. I don't want to see any more of this right now. Just let me be in the Final Fantasy bath.
And I'll find a store at some point.
Blam blam blah blam 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 blam.
Ryan, it's the summer of deals at American Airlines.
Wow.
Summer of deals 2020. at
Summer of
American-
deals?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good God. Fucking stop booking your middle seats.
Anyway, we start looking at some items we have as we were going through Quistis's blue magic stuff. And there's these scroll items that teach GF's abilities. And we have scrolls that will teach GF's abilities that they all come with.
Yeah,
Like how
this
to
is
draw or how to summon a GF. And we're kind of going like, what would be the point of that? Why would you ever need to teach a GF an ability they all already have?
Yeah.
This is all just set up for something that comes much, 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 much later that we fuck up.
Foreshadowing.
So just remember this thing for until the very end of the season.
Wait, are there some... okay, so that teaches the ability GF.
Right.
Okay, but they all
How would
have
any
that.
of them not have that?
Maybe we'll get some that don't. There must be some that don't have it. Learns magic, learns GF, draw. Nobody has draw.
Well, why? Everybody knows draw.
Oh, they do know draw. So I totally brain farted on that. I was like,
Did
what
we
is
get those
draw?
pet thing? Yeah, I know. We
Does
have
quantity mean we have one?
Yeah, we have one.
Okay, yeah, we have these now.
What are amnesia?
They make your GF forget an ability.
Right.
I thought there might be an item shop here, but I guess I'm wrong.
We've come to the town of Timber looking for a store, and there isn't one here.
Excuse me. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
But our thing is to hit Bell, right? Because they were like, we have.
Yeah, that's where we're supposed to go. I was just hoping I could get more high potions before we did. But...
Yeah, no, I hear you. We all want to get high potions. A little tired. I'm gonna have some coffee. Or are we gonna be playing for much longer? How are you feeling?
what time is it?
Like, that's the thing about this fucking sun.
And that's episode 18.
God damn, a lot happened this week.
Jesus. Yeah, so let's recap. We realized that we can now drive the ship, and we did.
Daylight savings time is fucking bullshit.
Chicken fried steak is delicious. Mm-hmm. Shotgunning a LaCroix is a thing you should do.
It's pretty low impact. In 5 minutes, you're totally fine. You know? Kind of fun, I guess. Thrilling a little bit.
Well, next week we're gonna go to Balam, where there's gonna be a series of dudes and people to meet and a chop to chop.
There's gonna be a wonderful chop. We're gonna chop it up.
So join us for that. What a ridiculous one. I hope you all enjoyed this.
I loved it.
Me too.
That was great. Why can't they all be like
I
that?
wish
is
they
what I
all
wanna
were like
know.
that, yeah. Oh, before we go, do you want to get on the keyboard, zap our minds into the phone jack, and get into the message world?
Yeah, let's go exist as our username alias, and yes.
And we're in. Oh, there's a message. Clicking on it now. Jeff, Ryan, I would like to take a moment to call out the one thing that has plagued the lives of not just myself, but dozens of men and women before me. This is a cause that neither of you can truly understand, but one that I hope that you can find in your hearts to raise awareness for. This is the rare affliction of protagonist name character limit syndrome, or pencils for short, or PNCLS for short. For too long, so many of us have lived with the pain and the pressure of naming our digital avatars shortened names, like Alexander with just DR.
Oh, yeah.
Or Elizabeth. Names that come close, but just fall short of their full true name. With your support, pencils can be a thing of the past. Call 1-800-255-3700 and share your voice today. There's a little note that says, the number is the Nintendo support line. It's like, not sure if you want to share that or not. Love, Christia, his condemned name for all JRPGs as Christian.
That's a great message.
Yeah, pencils afflicts many.
And all the weird things you name characters. I mean, like, yeah, going back to arcades, the 3-letter name that wasn't even your initials necessarily,
Right.
but was your like call sign.
Did you
I'm
have
not
one?
That old? No, I didn't have.
I just
one.
had used my initials.
I was not hanging out in the arcade, really. Anyway, whatever. That's neither here.
I
nor
wasn't
there.
getting on the leaderboards at the
But
arcade.
these days,
I grew up going to Fun Spot. Like, it wasn't going to beat the top scores at the Donkey Kong.
No. What were we talking about?
The shorter names.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
call
yeah,
that number.
That's a worthy cause. Call the number. Get out there. People need to enter their names into games, and I know you can do it now, but we need to get out there and have them re-release all the old games where it's not possible with updates.
Yeah.
Because frankly, it's prejudice.
Let's get out of here. If you're interested in a message, just email nocatpodcast@gmail.com. That's NOCKAT. We do payments through PayPal, and they're $25 each. So just email us, and we will make it happen. We'll say whatever you want.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you so much to the Patreon supporters.
Yes, huge thank you from the bottom of our hearts and our guts.
The heart guts.
And the tops of our minds.
Would not be doing this without you.
From our top minds.
The top of our minds to the guts of our heart. We love you.
And if you are interested in joining the ranks of our Patreon supporters, where you can access all the bonus content, head on over to patreon.com/nocat. That's
right.
NOCKAT.
And if you want more content, go over to twitch.tv/nocatpodcast.
And you can find our past streams there, and sometimes we stream there, not that regularly as we would like to, but when we do, we post about it on Twitter, where you can also find us
At NoCat Podcast. You guys are getting the idea.
And also there's an Etsy page where we have some merch.
T-shirts and mugs.
God, all this for one podcast. Anyway. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts
Please
or wherever else you would like.
Tell your friends about the show. Tell them there's a Final Fantasy podcast where they just drive around the world and talk.
And that come the revolution, they promise to get rid of daylight savings time.
Yes.
And
this is important. Yeah. With that, let's have a little dessert. You want to have hot dogs again?
Yeah, let's just eat a hot dog.
All right.
Another thing about hot dogs being their favorite food, lately I've noticed there is no food that makes me feel worse than hot dogs. I had 2 hot dogs over the weekend just for lunch one day, and then the whole afternoon I was just like, I feel like shit.
What happened? Were they
tired?
What brand hot
They
dog?
were Ballpark.
Gotta get that Hebrew National.
But I mean, well, even when we had those when we were done.
No,
after that I was like, I'm so tired. I think it's all the salt.